Comoros is an island country. It's like south of Zanzibar in the Indian Ocean. Could theoretically be the same exact thing. And it's just like chaos.
Yeah, when you told me you went to Comoros, I feel like I'm pretty good at geography. I know a lot of weird countries. I had just never even heard of that place.
Dude,
Yeah, when you texted, like, we might talk about that, I'm like, I think he's making that up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Fasten those seatbelts and strap in. We'll get you to those margaritas ASAP.
Hola, bonjour. Ciao belle mesdames et messieurs. Salam and salam.
Hey, how are you? Welcome back to Drop a Pin. Today we have Giulio.
I'm back, baby.
Me and Giulio down by the schoolyard
There you go.
for the third time.
Sick.
First time he came on, we talked Iraq and Afghanistan.
That's right.
Second time, Nepal and Bhutan.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll probably talk a little bit about Bhutan today, too, because by the time this comes out, he will have just dropped his big Bhutan travel. I wouldn't even call it a vlog. It's more like a travel show.
Yeah, kind of.
It's a full-on show.
It's a kind of a show. Yeah. It's one episode, but it's an hour. It's pretty fucking cool. It came out cool. It's basically the whole thing is like I'm trying to find this mystical llama to recover this ancient relic.
Oh, cool.
That I can like Indiana Jones vibes.
Love
Nice.
that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I have a lot more fun making travel videos when there's kind of like a through line. You kind of have some
Agreed.
sort of like end goal that you can work
Agreed.
around.
And as you know, I mean, you're like the fucking master, but like it's so hard to find a good story.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you do it, the more you're like, all right, like I could probably, you're like, as long as I have something to make, great. But like when it really comes together nicely, it's a good feeling. So I feel that way about this one. So I'm stoked.
Yeah. Now, I know you spent some time at a monastery in Nepal. Were you also at a monastery in Bhutan? Or?
Yeah. It's like a different situation. Like this one was like an OG, like this guy's family has passed down the lineage to him, which is like not typically how it works. Like llamas are like reincarnated. And like, I have to make this clarification. Llama meaning like a religious guy, not the animal.
Oh, I was really thrown for a loop. I was like, I can't wait. This llama must be sick
like
as shit.
But yeah, so I went and like, but the whole point of this one was this guy's kind of like an ancient medicine man, wise man.
Yeah.
So kind of like telling me about my shit, what I should be doing and shouldn't be doing, and like also try to get him to give me this like secret blessed pot of ancient grains and herbs.
Okay. Yeah. I know he was
talking
making
quinoa.
Yeah, it sounds
haven't
like
opened
quinoa.
it. I'm not allowed to open it.
He was making some bold predictions on your life.
Yes, which
right?
I told you guys. Yeah. So
Didn't he say there were people in your life that like weren't rooting for you?
yes.
Oh shit.
I know. I mean, it's funny. He was like, yeah, like he was mentioning things about certain people in my life, and like naturally, of course. Now, anytime anything happens that sort of like falls in line with anything he said, I'm like, the llama
Yeah.
predicted this. If I have like
Even
problem
cooler
with
if
a
it's an
friend,
animal, though.
it would be
Yeah.
cooler. That's just true. But anyways, yeah, I would appreciate if you guys would check that out. So thank you for letting me plug it on here, boys.
Let's go. And so it's an hour long, so it's kind of more just like a travel documentary, I'd say.
Pretty, yeah, kind of. I wonder because if calling it a documentary, it's like there's still aspects of like talking about bullshit in there. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
it's kind of like combines a couple different formats: a little documentary, a little vlog. But it looks great. Like we shot it really, really high level, I think. So
You had a cameraman with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How'd you find your camera guy?
it's the same guy I use every time.
Okay.
It's just my boy.
Nice. Is it the same guy that you were doing Oops the podcast with?
No. So this guy's name is Zach. He's a film guy. He like shoots a ton of like indies and like, so that's his background. He did my Rwanda video with me, which is the first one I ever did. And he's just been the one who's done every single one with me since.
Cool.
And he's a G. He's like a great guy. Like we have a great time together. Like we're boys. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
But your most recent abroad trip was to Africa.
Yes.
Okay. Where'd you go?
Which I know I have some overlap with the legend behind the monitors back there, Mr. Sammy.
Goldfinger, yep.
But yeah, so I was in Rwanda again.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I've done like a revisit with the same people.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done any of those?
I mean, I've visited Pongzai
Oh
twice.
yeah, yes. Legend. So this is like my version of that.
Okay.
It's a cool thing.
It is, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because a lot of these people, they're like, oh, yeah, we've got this American here filming a video. This is the last time I'm ever going to see him.
100%.
He's going to completely forget about me a month after the video comes out. But
Totally.
no, that's not the case.
And I feel weird about that too, because it's like, you have this intense experience with this person, you know what I mean? And like maybe they're used to it, but like to me it feels like super disingenuous to just like never talk to that person again. I'm I like spent so much time with this person. And it actually hurts me like when I've opened for comics who are bigger than me and we have like this moment where we bond and then they like never talk to me again. I'm like deeply hurt by it.
Yeah.
I'm
Same
like, that's
thing
like
happened to me
weird.
at a honeymoon. Like you have honeymoon pals, you know, like if you're staying in the same area. Shout out Sean and Melissa from 16 years ago. I still miss you. I hope things are going great in Saskatchewan.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like you get on a little bus and you're like, man, Sean and Melissa are fucking sick.
You're like,
dude.
you guys
we
stay
should do
with
this
us?"
every year, Sean.
Yeah.
Then he blocks me on Facebook.
Dude, totally. Anyway, this is my version of the revisit.
Nice.
So these comedians who I'm boys with. So I went there to just kind of like check in, do some shit. I was supposed to do a show. I fucked up the scheduling.
How's the comedy scene doing in Rwanda?
It's pretty good.
It's growing?
It's like been growing. You know what I mean? I went there in 2017 and
Yeah.
it was already a thing. And it's still a thing. You know what I mean?
Who's the fuck? What's the guy?
Bill
Shane
Burr?
Gillis. Who's the Shane Gillis of Rwanda?
So it's funny because now with all the internet and stuff, there's that same thing happening where there's like a guy who's huge on the internet, but it's like unclear if he's like the biggest stand-up or not. There's this guy Clapton Kibonge, dude. The guy's hilarious.
What a legend.
He's a legend. He's like made a bunch of funny videos and shit. Look him up. But my boy's there. It's this guy Babu Joe, Michael Sengazi, and Hervé Kimenye are like the three guys who I've chilled with and talked to the most. Kind of like the OGs. And all super funny guys, super talented guys. And it's just hilarious the way that they like understand the nuance of comedy, the way that like we specifically understand whatever it is we're doing. Like you
Yeah.
talk to them like it was in literally not in any different way than you would with like your colleague here. They get it. They get like the comedian bullshit, the like sucking up to people who are bigger than you, being dicks to people who aren't, like having fake following. They like are so cued in with all this stuff. And I guess that's obvious, but it's so funny and refreshing. It's like, oh,
Now, is that because they just follow the comedy scene in the U.S. so closely,
No.
so they kind of understand what the
I don't think
dynamics
so.
are?
I don't
No?
think so. I think that like those are like the phenomenon of the dynamic of the way that the people interact with each other unfolds in the same way inevitably because it's like the same human feelings that you're having doing this thing.
Is it
Yeah.
the same kind of cadence? Because you know, like so many comics will have like the same type of cadence and speech. Is it the same kind of thing?
It's a little different. When I first did a show there, I kind of bombed, to be honest. Like the first time I did, it was the biggest venue I'd ever done. It was like their Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
There's a famous building in Rwanda, and you can find that pretty easily too, at Sam, I think. Like, and you know, I think there was only like 400 or 500 people. Maybe it was 400 or 500.
What's it called?
Just
Look
look up
he
like
doesn't know how to spell Rwanda.
Rwanda.
No, I know how to spell
Sam might be
Rwanda.
the worst spelling.
Rwanda
Yeah,
Arena.
it's been
Rwanda
tough.
Arena.
This is a tough show for Sam to be producing because we talk about all these obscure places and Sam's like,
Okay, so
you want me to
actually-
Google that?
Like the guy Giulio was talking about a minute ago. Sam just gave up.
Yeah.
He typed like 4 letters. Like this is not happening.
Clap.
It's like, I'll
Dude,
start
it happens
like,
all the
trying
time,
to spell
but
it.
there are certain times where I just want to be like, all right, Sam, just search this, but we're in the middle of a conversation, so I don't. But I understand, Sam. It is hard.
Yeah,
We
it's
talk
tough.
about weird places and
Yeah.
weird things.
All I want to say is, compared to other shows where people have to search things, ours have to be the hardest to
Oh
spell.
yeah, because
Yeah.
other people are like 2 bamboos fucking.
Easily.
yeah.
Easily.
This is the hardest show to Google, but
That
Sam, you
stadium-
do have room
So
for
this
improvement.
this is the new one. So they just built this. I guess basketball is becoming popular. So now they have this big. So this is actually the new stadium. When I went, there was a slightly smaller one, which if you scroll down long enough, you'd find it. It
Oh,
looks
it's probably that one right there.
the
Bottom row to the right.
all the way to the right, maybe.
The
Keep
second
going down,
one
keep
from
going
the
down.
the second one from the left. Sorry.
Anyway, it's basically this, just a little smaller.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, I did it. I didn't do that well. It was a while ago. I don't know. I like to think maybe I would do better now, but I have no idea. It's a little more. I would say that they're a little more animated,
Okay.
but like nothing much different than like a New York versus LA style, maybe,
Yeah.
or like an urban room.
And like most people in Rwanda can speak English.
So it's interesting because there's 3 languages that people speak pretty pervasively. So like they'll do, whenever they do like a big comedy thing, they'll have like English night, French night, Kenya, Rwanda night. and like and the guys will like speak different languages for those things.
Okay.
And some of them, like not all of them speak French. So they're like Michael, for example, is like the Francophone guy of the group, and he'll do the French night, and that's like his big night. But he also can do all the, so it's that kind of thing. It's cool. It's cool.
Let's go.
And that guy Clapton, I think, is like a Kenya Rwanda only situation.
So when you bring up Rwanda, a lot of people think Hotel Rwanda.
Totally.
The big beef between the Hutus and the Tutsis.
Mm-hmm.
But like more recently, I think it's seen as definitely like a top 10 developed, stable country in Africa. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. Oh, like for sure. I think it's like, I don't even know. It would be hard to like not say that as a fact. That's how true it is.
Yeah.
And Kigali, for like an African city, like everybody says it's like it's so clean, it's so orderly. That's all very true. You can eat like a Michelin star meal there. Like I went to like the craziest dinner actually when I was there.
Okay, yeah. So not like Kampala, Uganda, where
it's a little crazy. I've heard.
The traffic was insane. If you left at the wrong time, going a mile, like 1 mile could take over an hour.
I've heard that. I've heard it's nuts. That is the one. You found it.
Ooh, is it that
The
large
colorful
dome?
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that thing looks sick.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Dude.
It almost looks like the sphere.
I know.
Yes.
No, totally. Yeah, I've heard Kampala's nuts. But Rwanda's like fun and shit, like Kampala too. But everybody in the Rwanda scene, and a lot of Ugandan comics come over there, they're like, Kampala rules. Like, you got to come sometime. So, yeah. But dude, there were some comics who were like really good too, like on these shows. Like comedies, I mean, obviously become a very international thing, but while the scene is new and the audience is new to comedy, so like I definitely noticed there were certain times where they'd like laugh at shit where I was like, oh, like, you guys think that's funny? That's insane. Like it's like a thing that would be like considered hack.
Yeah.
But now, like I remember this. There was like an Asian guy saying that he's like, I'm Asian. He's like, I can barely see, and they were like, oh, that's the funniest shit we ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But here's the thing: if you watched like popular comedy in America 30 years ago, there would probably be some stuff where you're like, that's hack, but everybody is eating it up.
100%.
Yeah.
But like, so like the progression. So like, you know, in 20 years, they'll think that maybe some of that stuff is hack too.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these comics are like fucking good. And like everybody who I was naming, they're like all pretty impressive, like solid comedians. One of the guys opened for Chappelle when he was just over there.
Oh, really?
Chappelle did a show and he's like, bro, it was the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Because isn't that what Chappelle did after he canceled the Chappelle show and turned down $100 million? He was like, I just want to move to Africa. And I don't know if he moved there, but he did like a long trip in Africa and just kind of like chilled and got away from the media shitstorm in the U.S.
Yeah. I think this show was more recent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like he was over there for a while, and I guess, I don't know specifically what the deal is, but yeah, they did these shows and they apparently went really well. Sold out in 2 seconds. He did it the same way he does it here. It was like $200 a ticket when he does a small room, and then sold out in 2 seconds. Like, it was amazing. He killed, like, you know, standard shit.
I paid $200 to see Chappelle at the Stand in New York.
Yeah.
And he was blackout drunk. It was tough. It was cool being in a small room with Chappelle, but like after like 5 minutes, he kept on checking his clock. He's like, all right, I got to do at least a half hour. And he kept on checking his clock, being like, is this over yet? And then at the end, some of his friends had to literally like carry him up the steps. He was so drunk.
Wow.
That sucks.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was tough, especially because he did 2 nights at the Stand, and I knew people who went the following night, and they're like, "Oh, he was incredible. He crushed."
That kind of shit really sours me on like a performer in general. Like it's happened twice, and one is a little bit different. Kind of a lame concert to go to, but I went this summer. Goo Goo Dolls. The Goo Goo Dolls guy was absolutely ripped.
Really?
Like I couldn't even hear him play like the main songs, "Kiss from an Angel." He was too drunk forgot the lyrics. I'm
Slide?
brother.
That's a hard one. You're drunk.
Yeah, Slide. He forgot the lyrics. I'm like, dude, you've been singing these songs for 30 fucking years. How did you forget? Second one's a country dude named Coulter Wall. He wasn't drunk, but he just didn't talk to the audience. He just goes out in there and goes, I'm Coulter Wall, and these are my buddies. And then played for like 45 minutes and was out. I was like, now I blocked him from Spotify. I won't even have it come up on a playlist.
That's so awkward.
It is kind of like if you're a stand-up comedian, you obviously are doing the same jokes for a while, but then maybe like would you say it's like every year you start to change up your jokes? Or
No, it happens more gradually than that. Like, I'd say like every road weekend, it changes a little.
Okay.
And each time that little change happens, by the time like 6 months go by, there's big changes.
Yeah.
Now, I prefer to not come back to a city where like I know I'm going to draw, when I know I have some of the same key components of the set.
Yeah.
But once that set is like 50% different, then I feel fine. And I'd say that my turnover rate is faster than a lot of the people that I've seen.
Yeah.
Not even trying to flex. Like I'm not saying it's anything special, but
Yeah.
like it is definitely, I don't like to go to the same place with the same hour.
Yeah, but if you're a popular musician and sometimes you're only popular for like 3 or 4 songs, that crowds are going to want to hear those same songs for the next 30 years.
Totally.
Whenever you tour.
That might be the real reason why Brian Wilson's dead, because he didn't want to sing Kokomo anymore.
Dude,
It's like, get that shit out of my face.
But I didn't understand that phenomenon until recently. Like I was like, so what? Like I would just be happy to have fans who support me, and like I'd be happy to sing those songs. I think I now get it. I get it, and I think I too would hate it. I'd be like, this sucks. Like no one respects. Oh, like I just made the fucking best song I've ever made in my life, and you guys just want to hear Kokomo? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, you got to find a compromise.
Got to find a compromise.
You can still do the new songs, but always like end the show with Kokomo or something.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I would do it for sure, and I wish this was a problem in my life.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
What do you think your Kokomo of jokes is?
I don't have one, dude. No, but like, I think that every once in a while, someone's like, "Oh, I thought you were going to do that joke." Like, they'll be like, I did this joke about like sophisticated bros eating sushi on my like Netflix set. That occasionally people will be like, "I thought you were going to do that one," and I was like, "Oh no, like, don't you already know what happens in that one? Don't you want to hear another one?"
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Oh, but that's a great one." I'm like, "All right, interesting. Like, maybe there is like a greatest hits culture in comedy."
Yeah. True.
I don't know. And then people like know my Taliban jokes, but still, yeah, rarely. But then it's funny. Sometimes you'll see like a specific group of people at your show, and I'll see like Afghan people who I think maybe are Afghan, and I'm like, oh fuck, they want to hear Afghan shit, and I'm not doing any of it in the set. And then I like get anxious. I'm like, fuck.
Where in America has the largest Afghan population?
I don't know. I could guess, but I
idea.
don't know if it would be right. I know there's some in California, maybe probably Michigan. I don't know for sure.
There's a big one
Probably
in
New
San
York.
Antonio, like right after the withdrawal is enormous.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks like on that map, it looked like it was California and Texas.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was a bunch in San Antonio.
Not a lot of Tajikistani in America when I was like trying to bring Jamal over here. And just seeing how can like a Tajikistani get a visa to America. And it was very hard that he got turned down.
Did they all go to Russia?
Yeah, they are because their government has really tight connections with Russia, which probably makes it harder for them to travel to America. But I think I saw a stat that there's only like 2,000 Tajik folks living in the U.S. or something like that.
Wow, that's so small.
Yeah, which is.
I mean, I know it's a small country, and they don't really have much industry. I think like over 50% of the economy is like people sending money back.
All right, 6,000 to 9,000. That's
still
a
tiny.
little stronger.
it's
Yeah,
small,
Puny.
yeah.
Kigali though, like
yeah.
it's a very like safe, like
Dude.
developed city.
So it's a funny, interesting thing, and I'm sure you guys understand this well by this point, but like people are wondering, they'll be like, oh, like, is it safe there? Like what people don't know is like, if you go to a country and it's been sort of like the same guy in power for a while, that place is usually safer than anywhere you'll ever go. A lot of the time. Like some bad, like, I don't want to say bad, controversial politics don't always make a place sketchy. And this is a situation where, and look, that guy's done an incredible job turning that place around. And like, but they always say that governance tends to slip a little bit once you get into the 10-year mark and above, if you're not willing to kind of step aside. It's like, all right, at this point, maybe you have too much power. It's a debate. I'm not saying I feel one way or the other about it. I don't know enough specifically, but Kigali, it could not be safer. It's like the safest place on planet Earth.
Okay.
So, you know, people were like, oh, Rwanda, oh my God, like, are you safe? I'm like, dude, like, I literally could not be more safe, actually. And like, you'll see soldiers around. It's amazing.
And also sometimes when you're in a country that has a really dark past, now it's more safe than ever because everybody's
100%.
like, oh, thank God that that era of our history is over. Like now we just want to focus on living our lives.
Totally.
It
And
was like that in Cambodia, which like they had a really dark past with Pol Pot. Now they're just like the friendliest, safest place you can be.
fascinating, dude. And yeah, like even certain places like, you know, I know we're not going to go talk about Afghanistan again, but like places like that, like your day to day, like like no one's going to mess with you. Like people aren't like messing with you in places like that, or like Iraq. Like people would never. It's like fucked up to like steal from you or like, and you know, I'm sure there's exceptions, but it's not the same as like being in Rio de Janeiro where like you're going to get robbed if you're not careful. You know what I mean? So anyway,
The only time I felt unsafe when I was in Kampala, Uganda, and it's not like unsafe, but I was a little scared. We were just driving in the car, and I was trying to take a B-roll shot of the traffic and everything, and I accidentally filmed a military vehicle, which had some soldiers in the back, and they saw me with my phone out filming them. They pull over, they come over, they're like, "What were you doing? Why were you filming us? Give me your phone right now." And I was like, "I'm not going to give you my phone, but like, watch, you can see me delete the vids, like delete." And they're like, "I still want your phone right now. Like, why are you filming us?" And I was like, "I'm sorry. I was just trying to take some photos like of the cityscape," and that was very scary. I thought he was just going to rip my phone or accuse me of being a spy or something.
That's interesting because they're a huge ally for us in different areas, especially during like the war on terror.
Yeah.
Like they were probably our biggest contractors that we had.
really interesting.
Yeah, and all of them were like super nice. Like, Jumbo's like
Yeah.
they're super nice.
That's sick.
Maybe the soldiers thought that like I was going to send the video to their superiors or something and be like,
Maybe,
"Oh,
yeah.
like they didn't look like they were doing their job," but it's like I didn't even see them there. It was
Yeah,
just
because
all-
usually the Ugandan people are so nice.
yeah.
But like that's the thing, definitely. Like they're always like, don't film military stuff in most of these kind of places.
Oh, yeah.
and even here, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
if you're like on
yeah.
at an airport or something, people get weird about you filming in certain places. So it's like, all right,
I
whatever.
love those First Amendment auditor videos on TikTok. Have you seen those? Where people will go outside like police stations or sometimes just on the sidewalk or outside of a military installation and take videos on the sidewalk. And they just wait for the cops to come up and like violate their rights about being able to freedom of the press, and then they sue and get a shit ton of money.
Right.
I'm like, that's kind of dope.
There's guys like that who hang around Hollywood film sets, and I guess like savvy directors or whatever will be like, so and so is going to be hanging around today. Just be really nice to him, because like these guys will be known for like suing film
Yeah.
productions.
Very litigious.
So
Yeah.
it's- I'm like, oh, interesting.
And Rwanda's supposed to be beautiful. It's a lot of like rolling green hills.
Yeah, beautiful. I've never done the gorilla trekking. It was always too expensive, but I've been to that area. I went down, dude. I was so hungover and like had no. When I first went there, I was single. Like I had this big night. I like met a girl on Tinder. She came over to Airbnb. Like I was fucking crushing it. Like it was amazing. Wake up the next day, they're like, we're going on a hike. Like I was like, oh yeah, great. Like I sleep 1 hour. I go to this hike in it's called Bisoke. Bisoke. And you hike to the top and there's like a crater. And I did some hiking in LA. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Dude, you are hiking through dense forest. There's like dudes with machetes. There's no path. The elevation like immediately starts hitting me. I like thought I was gonna die. I was so fucking hungover doing this hike, but it was gorgeous.
So you made it to the crater?
Made it to the top. I literally just had to look down the entire time because I was like, if I look up, I'm gonna puke everywhere.
Okay.
And this is like the cheap thing you can do if you can't afford the gorillas.
All right, nice.
That place looks fake.
Dude, it's sick.
And if you can't afford the gorillas in Rwanda, yeah, I think it's cheaper in Uganda.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
And even cheaper in Congo. But then
Interesting.
I wouldn't recommend going to Congo.
Right. Especially that area of Congo.
Yeah.
Have you been over there yet?
Right on the border. There
This was
was
the only area that I'd been to over there.
like a week before me and Billy went gorilla trekking in Uganda. I guess some like Congolese rebels had crossed the border into Uganda and murdered a couple British tourists.
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Hate to see it. Yeah. So there's a guy with a gun that comes with you, and he says it's because of like buffaloes, and you're like, you sure this isn't also for insurgents, just in case? Mm-hmm. It's like, all right. I still don't know to this day, but anyway, that was cool. So that was the only like nature stuff I've ever really done there. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I've just been hanging around Kigali with these guys, like doing a bunch of press. Like I'll do more press when I'm in Rwanda than I've ever done in America.
They
like,
love
radio
getting Americans on TV out there.
pods, dude. Yeah, I did like a radio show. Or you did the news, right? Did
Yeah.
I see that? Same. It was so funny.
Do you think this face here
It's funny.
is funny?
No.
Did the news. I think I was on news twice. I was on the front page of their sports section. Yeah.
What kind of news?
Just like the news.
Yeah, I was just like on the Uganda news.
Coach Danny and Coach Billy.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having us.
What?
Like the Daily News.
Uganda's got a big football game against Kenya, and they got 2 Americans helping coach the team. Yeah.
Do you ever like get, for example, like that is such an incredible story, that whole arc that you did over there.
Yeah.
Are you ever like, and I don't know to what degree it's performed, like compared to the other things that you've made, and I'm sure you're acutely aware of that.
Yeah.
Are you ever like, why isn't this the most popular thing I've ever done? What the fuck?
Yeah, like there are like the finale episode, like that doesn't have as many views as the first episode, and it's kind of like I thought it was like building to this big grand finale. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I wish this had more views. It's kind of like insane what we did out there.
And dude, unbelievable. Like truly amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, that always happens. I try not to get, whenever I have like a finale to a series or something, I try not to get my hopes up, because for some reason, whenever I do like season finales or grand finales, they never do as well as just the normal videos. So now if it's my last video, I like won't even call it a finale.
Right.
I'm like, is the YouTube algorithm trying to fuck with me whenever I call something a finale? It just like won't push it out to people.
Because of that exact phenomenon, like I always have in the back of my head, I'm like, how do I make this also stand alone? Because like the idea that people are going to be able to watch it in progression, like I just probably don't have enough people watching my stuff for that to happen. But like it happened with my Afghanistan series, and it like crushed me, because in that final episode, like we literally like build a fucking school, and it's like this amazing like sort of tying the knot, and like the drop off was like substantial, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go jump off my apartment building.
Yeah.
Maybe that's inside baseball. But yeah, dude, Rwanda was fucking cool. I went to Tanzania, and I did another sort of like school related thing. I like a friend of mine like helped this guy who he met out there when he was in college like build a private school that's like looking amazing. So part of it was like accountability. He's like, I'm kind of curious about how this is going to look, because I'm about to try to raise money for them to build a high school. So I just want to make sure like everything's good over there. So I was like, all right, cool. And so I was in the middle of nowhere in this place called Kuala, and they've just built a Chinese industrial park there, like a rural industrial park.
A lot of Chinese industrial parks probably all over Africa.
Which I know they're doing, yeah. So a bunch of interesting stuff happening in this area. And there's this railroad that goes through there. Dude, they have Maasai guys guarding the railroad. And I'm like, well, with what? No offense, Maasai guys.
Yeah, because they're normally just holding like a big stick
and a bow and bows and arrows. Okay. And I'm like, well, what happens if like the bandit guy who's like stealing copper from the train or whatever sees you? What if he sees you first? They're like, bro, he won't see me. I'm like, okay, fine. I was like, he's like, because we're far away. I'm like, well, how do you get them from far away? And the guy's like, and I'm like, you can hit that far away? He's like, yes. So then I start making reference points. I'm like, can you hit that thing? He's like, bro, easily.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what about that thing over there? He's like, bro, like literally easily. I'm like, that is so fucking funny.
Oh yeah, that's like the guys from the air up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have one of the Maasai shukas right here.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Goldfinger went to Tanzania, and then he did like a PowerPoint presentation for us, but he taught us it was like the Spark Notes on Tanzania. He was like, sick. What are the big five? And we learned what the big five animals were. And then he was like, they have tribesmen called Maasai.
Yes.
I think that's about the extent of what we learned. So yeah. Feel free to tell us some more about Tanzania.
Dude, so a couple things. So
Sam's just getting shit on in this episode. This show should be called Fuck Sam.
Yeah.
How much does a U of A graduate know about the world?
Dude, a couple funny things about them. Well, first of all, like a couple of these guys were like, I was like talking hip hop with them. And then he's like, bro, he's like P. Diddy and Lil Durk in jail. I'm like, Lil Durk's like a deep cut pull, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he's like, P. Diddy, he's like, he's not getting out anytime soon. I know now he's getting out, but at the time, it didn't look good for P. Diddy.
Yeah, well, I think he still has to do, what, like 5 years?
Yeah, he gets out in 2028 or something like that, not too long.
All right, so he's doing some time.
Yeah.
And then he was like they were talking about Future and all this stuff, which is like a phenomenon that I expect to happen, but it's still always kind of funny when it happens. And the other thing, these guys are all playing soccer like this, barefoot, and I'm saying to my boy, I'm like, don't these guys like, didn't they work all night like guarding the railroad? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do they need sleep? He's like, no, they like don't need to sleep. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like looking at these guys like play soccer barefoot without having slept, and they're also like all the best students in the school. A couple of the Maasai kids go to this school. They are the highest achievers. And I'm like, damn, I'm a fucking pussy, dude. I need to step it up. Like, this is the elite level of living, the way these people are living their lives.
And that guy has mad hops.
Bro, they're shredded. They have hops. Like, they're like wired differently, these people. It's impressive.
I don't know if it was Tanzania, but there was an African tribe, and they would hunt these impalas, right? Is that what they're called?
I think so, yeah.
Those like deers. The little deer.
Yeah, those deers. And they would just hunt them on feet. And he was like, yeah, the impala's faster than us, but they don't have as much endurance. So they would just chase the impalas for so long, and eventually they would get tired, and they would eventually be able to catch up in spirit.
Like, if you didn't know that they like about that culture, I would be ruthlessly calling them liars.
But no, they
Like if there wasn't documentaries proving it, I'd be
Yeah.
like, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
you're outrunning a fucking deer.
Dude, it's crazy. It like really makes you question all your like shit about yourself. Like I'm all fucking fat. Like my neck's fucked up. I'm like this is like embarrassing, dude. I need to
Yeah.
get it together.
And it is true with like, so they go barefoot a lot of the time. And it's like, if we did go barefoot for like a year, our feet would become very tough. We just have like a really like thick layer of dead skin on the bottom of our feet. And then like nothing would phase us. Except you can't do that in Chicago when it's below zero.
That's true. That would be a next level. But dude, it's on some shit where the kids like walking miles to school every morning, like your grandfather did. You know, I used to walk fucking 10 miles in the snow. So anyway, very impressed by that, and it was cool, man. I went on like a cheap safari, which by the way, didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody I know is like, oh yeah, I won't go on my honeymoon. Like it was $50,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You can do a cheap
you,
one.
you can do budget safaris.
Yeah, and they're
People
awesome.
in America don't really know that. They're
Totally.
like, they'll save up for their entire lives to finally do a safari. But if you don't care about like, because some of those really expensive safaris, you're in the bush, but then you're staying at the super fancy lodge. They might have
Totally.
a pool where like from the pool, you can even see elephants and hippos and
Totally,
stuff. But
totally.
you can also just stay in like a tent. Or something
Right,
like that.
right.
Yeah.
What's the yurt situation?
So I just stayed in a hotel personally, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think like the high end ones, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I think like Donnie was saying, you can probably do it for cheaper also.
Yeah, we did. Like when we were in Zimbabwe, our safari was pretty cheap because Za's cousin-in-law or something, he was the one who drove us around. So we just kind of used his car. We drove into the safari park, and then we had like rented a hut in there.
Yo, this ain't bad. This ain't camping.
Cool.
Which I think had electricity, but that was about it. Other than that, it was just like a canvas hut.
Cool.
And they had a cement toilet, so it was like, okay, if like an animal does charge us, we'll just go hide in the cement toilet. 'Cause that will keep us safe from hippos.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And to be honest, like I've seen so much safari content that part of me was like, am I even going to give a shit? And like, it's unbelievably sick. It really is. It's just like unavoidably, unbelievably sick, no matter which way you spin it. And like the amount of insane animals I saw for the first time, it was so cool.
How many of the big five did you see?
Okay, so let me see if I can recount what the big five even is. It is with a water buffalo, which I thought was a random addition.
Yes.
The rhino, which this particular park that I went to did not have.
What park was it?
This is Mikumi, it was called. There was rhino was the only thing they didn't have.
Yeah, I mean, rhinos are probably the rarest of the big five.
Of the
or
big
the
five.
the most endangered.
Right.
Definitely.
The leopard is in the big five, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the cheetah?
Yes.
And then is the last one
Wait.
lion or elephant? Or neither?
I don't think cheetah
I think
is in the big five. And hippos are not in the big five.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy. But I think it's because like you know exactly where they are. Okay, yeah. So I basically got it.
Yeah.
With as long as you are willing to omit the cheetah. But yeah, the hippos are just kind of there. I didn't get a good view of any of them because like they're kind of nocturnal. It could be hard to like see them ripping. But you see the top of them. There's just like a fucking crocodile chilling on the side of the thing, which I'd never seen. Got up close and personal with a lot of these. I think part of the whole experience is like seeing them do shit will be like the coolest part. So like I saw a leopard like through the bushes, like just his face. It was like right next to us. That was super cool. I saw a dead water buffalo that had just gotten killed by a bunch of lions, and the lions were just like tired as shit, just like sleeping it off. They couldn't even approach eating it yet. And then like the other water buffalo was looking for it's like water buffalo partner or friend, and I was like,
Randy,
this day is not getting any better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
Someone
cool.
told me that water buffalo actually kill more people than hippos, because
Right.
I always thought hippos were the most dangerous animal in Africa, but water buffalo.
Look that up, Sam. Which
Water buffalo
animal
might have
kills
them
the most
beat.
people
Yeah, they're like
in
super
Africa?
ornery.
It was the
What about
water
hippo
buffalo.
mode? Still legendary.
Yes. Yep. That is.
Donnie going hippo mode. is
Yeah,
one
when
of
I
the crazier
swam
things.
with the hippos, the thing that a lot of people don't realize is like I was probably more in danger from like a flesh-eating bacteria in that water than I
Totally.
was from the hippos. Like
Totally.
Like those little rivers that are running through safari parks are not clean.
And were you fine?
Yeah, I ended up being fine. But yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what. I mean, you've done a lot of urban waterway swimming as well, which seems like it could be perilous.
Yeah.
Get hit by a
That was
tugboat.
when I went to India. That's where I drew the line. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm not
dude.
swimming anywhere in
The
India.
Ganges got to stay out of there.
No,
Yeah.
but people do in India because there's like Varanasi is the most holy city in India, and it's on this holy river, and like everybody goes into the river, but it's also filled with trash and
Dude, yeah.
A ton of trash.
Human
too.
waste.
Yeah, the Ganges is supposed to be like toxic.
Yeah.
What's that photo to the right? Is that like a bunch of? Well, because they also kind of like burn dead bodies in that river. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that doesn't seem sanitary.
no.
Good God,
But did you have to take malaria medication when you were in Tanzania?
So no, but I do usually because it's just cheap and it doesn't. I don't have any side effects.
Okay.
So I usually
yeah.
just take the pills just for shits and
Yeah.
giggles. Do you take them?
Yeah, the few times I've been to Africa.
Did you get the weird dreams when you took them?
No. Did you?
No, I had just like really weird, vivid dreams. I had one dream where I was like, "Oh, I'm back in Arizona." I'm like, "Wait, fuck! I'm supposed to be in Africa."
Oh,
And then I woke up like, "Oh shit, I'm here."
I've heard that happens. It didn't happen to me.
Yeah, I've never
yeah.
had it happen to me either.
I had one of the best dreams of my life on malaria medication. I was in like a hot tub on the moon.
Oh,
So I was
hell
posted
yeah.
up in a hot tub on the moon, looking back on Earth.
Hell
This
yeah.
is sick.
That would be sick.
I know.
be
I
sick.
got to take this malaria medication
That
more
would be
often.
way more expensive than a safari.
Yeah.
That could happen at some point.
Yeah,
probably be
I'm,
dead.
I'm hoping while I'm alive. I don't know if I'll be able to afford it, but I think we could see commercial trips to the moon in the next 30 years.
I do not.
I have faith. I don't know if it's going to be America. It might be China doing it.
Why don't you think so, chaps?
I mean, I don't think we would even build the transcontinental railroad. Like again, like we just don't spend the money on things that are cool. Like think about the architecture that's in Chicago and how long that would have taken to carve that stone. Think we're doing that now?
Right.
Nope, it's glass facade and metal because that's the easiest and cheapest way to do it.
I think one of your clips was about the distance from the U.S. or from the Earth to the moon.
Yeah.
That was fucked up. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Where it would take you 9 years to walk there. If you were
crazy.
walking continuously,
Yeah,
it would
that's
take you 9 years.
wild.
A lot further than 500 miles, which I think Mikey Betts put out.
Yeah. Here
Like,
though,
I think it's like 500 miles. I'm like, you think the moon is
absolutely
closer
crazy.
than South Carolina?
Preposterous, dude. Preposterous.
here it says though the first commercial trips for people will likely be much further out, possibly in the 2030s or 2040s. So we'll be alive in the 2040s, right?
I mean,
God willing.
God willing.
I mean, if the pod's still going, we gotta go. Drop
Inshallah,
a pin in the moon.
Inshallah. Yeah, there was this one company called it was started by Grootman, David Grootman, who Portnoy's friends with. He's the guy that like runs a lot of those clubs in Miami. He invested in this space balloon. So search like David Grootman space whatever. Yeah, space restaurant, and it's a giant balloon, and
Whoa.
so trips in that
Death
were only going to
Star,
cost $125K. So it's like Portnoy like spends that on gambling every weekend.
Yeah.
And he's also friends with David Grootman, so it's like he could easily get himself a seat on that. But I think Portnoy would have zero interest in doing that.
Miss Peaches goes to the moon.
I love it. I
But
love
that looks cool. I guess it takes you up there, and then for like 4 hours, you just like chill in like suborbit drinking cocktails.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
it. Crazy. I think, they need to make like, do you guys remember that movie about the yacht where like everybody gets all sick and then they have to live on an island?
Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah.
I love that
It
movie.
was pretty cool. It would be cool to see that version, but for space, because like it has to be fucking insane on the body to go to space.
I was
Like-
I was watching a documentary on that this weekend.
Really?
In fact, yeah, like where, because there's two twins that are astronauts, the Kellys. One of them is a senator, and his brother is just a astronaut doing like teaching professor, Mark and Scott Kelly, and they are identical twins. Both of them were fighter pilots in the Navy.
Cool.
And one of them went to space. I believe he was the person who was in space the longest. It was like 15 months or something
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
But when he came back, either Mark or the other one was like an inch and a half shorter than the other.
Crazy.
They went exactly the same. The heart rates were different. The way that their fingernails grew
Dude,
was
crazy.
different. Like there were so many things that came back different.
So interesting.
And then there's these videos of, how they like to do an interview when people first land, and where you could tell one woman's eyes were like dropping, like in her face, because the muscles that were in there didn't have to work as much. You know, like if you're in a cast, you get atrophy. Like that could happen internally, where the gravity is typically there, but her eyes weren't used to it, so they dropped and she fainted because of her eyes.
Crazy.
Like there was all kinds of things that they and
Right,
like
'cause you're all
watching them
buoyant and
videos,
shit.
watching them have videos where they're writing something and then they'll just drop the pen expecting it to be there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the inverse of going to Japan or to Okinawa and driving on the opposite side of the road. And then when you come back, it feels weird driving on the road that you've done for 20 years.
Yeah.
Totally. That's fascinating, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out those bro. Are they twins?
Yep, they're identical twins. That's why it was cool for NASA to be able to do it, because they're both super qualified, both fighter pilots, both have been in the Navy essentially at the same exact time, the same type of education. Everything was the same about them, as much as it possibly can be, but DNA, and he dropped like 2 inches.
Crazy.
Damn, yep. You can almost tell in that
you can tell
photo.
in the photo.
I assume the one on the right is the one who
the shorter
space.
one is the one that went to space.
Damn.
Jesus, dude.
Now, when you were in Tanzania, did you ever get eyes on Mount Kilimanjaro?
Yes, from the plane. From the plane, you can see Mount Kenya, and then you can see Mount Kilimanjaro in the distance as well. Both are like solid UNESCO like mountains. Obviously, Kilimanjaro very famous, but I was not in that area of Tanzania.
Yeah, but I assume, did you fly into Dar es Salaam?
Yes, which is like not close to Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, no. So you flew in there. Now, did you spend a day or two in Dar es Salaam?
Yeah.
So that's like probably a much larger, crazier city than Kigali?
Kigali, for sure.
Does it seem like more chaotic?
Random traffic jams. It's not too bad. Like I think some of the other African cities are like more intense, but like overall pretty solid. I was staying right in that area where you can see the bay. It has one of the cheapest shipping ports.
Okay.
So it's very busy because of that. And there's a bunch of dry ports around the country because of it as well. The hotel I stayed in, dude, was fucking sick.
And probably kind of cheap?
Very. Dude, it was like one of the nicest hotels I've ever stayed in.
Wow.
It was gorgeous. But like, still like the service was like weird. Like Africa's funny. Like there's just kind of like service culture is not quite there yet. And like you'll be eating dinner and you'll feel like they're fucking with you because you'll be like, dude, can I get the check? And they're like, yeah. And then you watch them just like go to the other side of the restaurant and they're like joking around, fucking around. You're like, oh, he'll get it eventually. And then he comes back over and you're like, yeah, the check, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, and like you'll do that like 5 times, and you're like, are you fucking with me, dude? Like, and they're not.
To be fair though, Venice was like that a lot too. It's like they would almost see it as it's like rude. I would walk up, be like, hey, can we pay? And they'd be like, oh my god, you just got out of your seat to go ask me that? Like, you sit down and wait patiently. I'll come to you when I'm ready. But it's like you're being held hostage in the restaurant. Crazy. You're like, no, I got things to do. I need to pay and leave.
Totally. And I think there's like a balance with that. Like you don't want to be the overeager, like shitty, like impatient guy. But at the same time, it's like, bro, I've asked you 5 times for the check. This is great. Like, are you good?
And I get when I want to leave somewhere, I am out.
I get really antsy.
I'm the biggest Irish goodbyer that there is. I'm fucking done. I'm
trying
done.
to get better about it.
Like in France, it was like that too. Sometimes I just wanted to pop into a bar, have one beer, and leave. And no, they would want you to take a seat, and then they would come up and take your order. They would bring you the beer. You would finish the beer, and then you'd have to get their attention again to pay. Like they would see it as very rude if I was like, hey, can I just order a beer and pay for the beer right now at the same time? They'd be like, that is crazy. Yeah.
Dude, so
I'm trying to give you money. Please
take my money. I went to Zanzibar for the day.
Ooh, okay. We have talked about Zanzibar on this pod.
So just very briefly, like to me, it is like one of the perfect tourist destinations that I've ever been to.
Okay.
There is like the amazing, unique culture is like extremely preserved, but it is very welcoming, and like your fucking bougie, mom or aunt or whatever could go and like have the best trip ever, or you could bring your like friend who's never traveled, and it's like a great place to go on a honeymoon in my opinion. Wow. Gorgeous, so sick, which is why going to Comoros was so fascinating, because Comoros is an island country. It's like south of Zanzibar in the Indian Ocean, could theoretically be the same exact thing, and it's just like chaos.
Yeah, when you told me you went to Comoros, I feel like I'm pretty good at geography. I know a lot of weird countries. I had just never even heard of that place.
Dude,
Yeah, when you texted, like, we might talk about that, I'm like, I think he's making that up.
Yeah, no, it's actually a country, because I've heard of Mauritius, which is also an island,
which
right?
is like fancy.
Off of Africa. But never Comoros. So Comoros is in between Madagascar and Mozambique and Tanzania.
Yeah, and it's an archipelago. There's 4 islands. 3 of them are their own nation, and then Mayotte, which is still part of France. They chose not to, and apparently it's just like a little bit nicer than the rest of Comoros. Now, Comoros is fascinating because, like, dude, some of the sickest nature shit you'll ever see in your life. I went inside this like volcano. It was like one of the coolest things I've ever done. I'm super excited to start working on it too because it was like so cool. They have like the giant flying fox bats.
Oh, sick!
Those
they fly
are enormous,
dude. They fly around during the day. They're like flying around like seagulls, like picking shit out of the ocean. They're everywhere, dude. It's nuts. And
Don't they have like 6 feet wingspan or something?
Dude, they're massive. And dude, we rented like a 600mm lens. We have like the craziest close-ups of these fucking bats. It was so sick. So there's all this stuff like that. Also, they're known for their weddings in like this way that's like competitive with like Indian weddings. And dude, it'll be like a 10-day wedding. So I crashed like this bachelor party, the like bachelor party day of it. And it was just me and like 300 bros like celebrating this dude who's getting married.
Sick.
It was super gnarly. And the airport was a complete disaster. The worst airport I've ever been to by far, no close second.
The last time you were on, you were complaining about the
Kathmandu?
Yeah, the Kathmandu airport. This was on another level.
Kathmandu is like Dallas, Fort Worth compared to fucking Comoros, dude. Like just a complete nightmare in every imaginable way. Like you get there, you pay for your visa, and then there's like 5 steps where there's no line. You have to fight, including one where you like need to go in this office. Dude, I'm literally, and there's just a lady sitting at a desk. I'm closer to this lady than you are. The biggest woman I've ever seen just comes in between us and just sits down right in front of me. And there's like nothing I can do. No one enforced. I'm just like, all right, I guess you're going to go before me. They then open your bags and fully search them. And the dude who was like helping us out showed up. He's like, all right, we got to fight to the front or we're never going to get to do this. So we're like fighting to get to the front. And then they write okay in chalk on your luggage. It's still on my luggage. My suitcase is right behind Chap's. It's the chalk is still on it. Dude, it's crazy.
Okay.
So you should bring your own chalk and just put okay.
I know. If I knew better, I would have done that. And then also to get on the flight's like 2.5 hours delayed because it's hard for them to get shit. So everybody's bringing like backyard barbecue grills with them, flat screen TVs. Everybody has more shit than I own that they're bringing back with them, and it's unclear what they're doing with it.
A barbecue grill carry-on,
dude, madness.
Yeah, because they probably like once or twice a year they do a trip to the mainland and then just buy everything they need, whether that's a fucking grill or a TV.
Dude, totally. Then to leave, you have to wait outside in line in the parking lot. And it's like unclear. I was just sitting there waiting and like my flight was boarding and no one knew. No one was telling me. No one's announcing it. We like finally figure out and we like are now rushing to get in. Thankfully, everybody was like cooperative. Like everybody's like, oh, you're on that flight. You should go. Instead of the way it happens here where if you're like, sorry, I'm late for my flight. Everyone's like, you're a loser for not planning better. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that there. They're like, oh yeah, go. But like you stand in the parking lot with all your shit and dude, it rains there all the time. So you might just get completely dumped on with all of your stuff before you're waiting. And I know maybe this is sound like I'm being a little bitch, but like, dude, it sucks when you've gone on such a journey and now you're dealing with all this stuff that you've never dealt with before.
And all your charcoal's wet.
Dude, all your shit's wet. Exactly. So it was like, that was challenging, but like super, super cool to be in this like random place.
I wonder why they are so paranoid. Like, are they worried about drugs getting into the country?
I think so. I think so. And also maybe like, I don't know, invasive species or whatever. I'm not totally sure, but I think that they've had some like, they don't want people bringing drugs and weapons and they just don't have like the high tech shit to check it all.
I mean, that small of an island, it would make sense if it was like they were
invasive species.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because those could do a number on the
vegetation and
islands.
animal.
Right.
I mean, then you can have a situation like the Everglades with pythons all over the place.
Exactly. And there is like a big international Comorian population apparently. And like there's like a lot of remittance culture there too. So there's people who are like balling there. It's very bizarre. Like you'll see some of like the poorest, like I don't want to say shitty, but just like run down areas where you're like, oh fuck. And that was the area we were in the first day. I was like, this is a bummer. Like I feel bad for everybody. And then like the next day I'm in Moroni, like in the city. And I was like, oh fuck, this is actually sick. Crazy. Like,
yeah. Like, are there popular seaside resorts that a lot of Europeans go to? Or
no,
anything?
no.
Okay.
And it's funny because so first of all, there's a lot of trash in the ocean. So if you happen to go to the ocean in the morning, there's like a whole team of people trying to clean it up as best they can, but it's like shocking how much trash there is.
I mean, that must be just ocean trash. Right?
There may be nothing they can do about it.
It would make sense, like based on how Madagascar is and where it's at, like that funneling there. That would make sense.
There's definitely a lot of trash, and also like we stayed at the place that's like the place, and it's just not quite there yet. There's like a security guard standing there, like next to the towel hut.
Yeah.
And he like checks your key card when you're coming to the beach. I'm like, you think I'm crashing the beach? Okay, yeah, sure. Here's my key card. And he just stands there like watching you as you like sit on the beach. I'm like, this is a buzzkill for sure. And that was like a big thing in the comment section of this place. They're like, why is the fucking security guard like watching me?
Watching you swim?
Yeah.
They're trying to make sure you don't drown? I don't know. I don't know if they're a trained lifeguard though, even if you were drowning. Yeah, it does say Comoros gets ranked one of the poorest countries in the world.
Interesting. And I think there's a very big wealth disparity too, like very severe. And so the smaller islands, which I didn't get to go to, which require like a lot of planning, the flights get canceled a lot. But there's this like really rare flying fox bat on Moheli, I want to say it is the island, Moheli. If you look up like Moheli bat, like this, so there's bats that kind of look like this, but not like this one. This is like really endangered. It's like sick. I wish I got to see this.
It's got the red eyes.
Yeah, dude. And those things are massive. And it's cool to see them, man. Like the fact that they have dog faces makes them like a million times more approachable. Like if something was that big with a bat face, you'd be like, fuck, this is a nightmare. But these things, they just eat fruit. They're not bothersome.
Although that's a scary dog face.
That's a scary looking.
I mean, it kind of looks like the black version of Lady May's face.
Yeah, flying Lady May, though. That also sounds terrifying.
Yeah. She's too stupid to fly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Click on that one. The second one from the left. That is amazing.
Dude,
looks like testicle skin.
Yeah, so these ones that are on the main island look like balls. They look like that too on the main island. They're just a little bit smaller, but it was pretty sweet. And dude, this volcano, like we got some shots that were so cool because they gave us these ponchos that were gray and this massive cloud rolled in. It literally looks like we're on the moon and like we're wearing like moon shit too. It was like really, really cool vibes.
So you guys kind of went up to the volcano and then down into it?
Yes. And like how expansive it was like sort of that Grand Canyon phenomenon where like shit, you're disoriented. You can't tell how far away stuff is. And then like the main crater of the volcano is like, it's like 600 meters deep or something. It's like something, and I think now it's only 300 because like an eruption made it 300 instead of 600. But like looking down into that is like one of the crazier things I've done. It was so cool. Like a really special, unique place. I really enjoyed it, even though it was quirky.
How did you come to go there? Like, what was the impetus to go there?
So I knew that I was going to go to Tanzania because I wanted to check out this school situation. It's called the Brightness Day School. It's really, really cool. Or Bright Day School or something. I think Brightness is the name of the foundation. Bright Day School, Kwala, Kwala, see if anything comes up. So then from there, I'm like, all right, where else can I go that I haven't been? I was like, it would be cool. Nothing's coming up for it? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, I was like, all right, it'd be cool to do a revisit to Rwanda. And then somebody who listened to my pod when I was still doing it, she was in the Peace Corps in Comoros. And I had never heard of it either. And she's like, you should go. It's sick. Like, she was telling me all about it. And I was like, done. Like, Comoros. Because you can fly direct there from Tanzania.
Yes.
And it's hard to get to. So I was like, that's kind of how I try to plan. It's like, as you know, these trips can get so outrageously expensive. It's like, how can I mitigate the damage of that?
Yeah. Yeah, try to go.
But then I'm sure if you buy the ticket while you're there, it's so much less.
It could be the case.
Than if you do it like Google Flights.
It could be the case. So you can't really find, if I recall, it might have been challenging to find that flight on Google Flights. You have to like dig a little deeper. But it wasn't too bad. But you're probably right. Usually buying it in person.
I did hear that recently, that a hack, if you're trying to find cheaper flights, if you have a VPN and you set it to make it look like you're in a very poor country,
I've heard
and then
that.
you search that flight, it'll be less expensive. because like Google, if they know you're buying it from America, they're like, we can charge more. But if you're trying to buy a flight and they can tell that you're from a very poor country, sometimes they lower the prices.
And that's 1,000% true.
Yeah.
When I used to live in Japan, I would go to an internet cafe like away from the base, and I could fly home to Detroit for like $750.
I forgot there's direct flights to Japan from Detroit.
Yeah,
It's
like
crazy.
it's awesome too. Like that's it, and that's where I was going, was to Detroit. So you would pay like $700-800 out in town, but if you bought it with the IP address on base, it would be like $1,800, $2,000 to go home.
Crazy.
Yeah, huge difference.
I put Detroit in my top 5 cities, by the way. I know you guys were ranking cities.
Oh, yeah?
I fucking love Detroit.
Oh,
I was there once,
American cities,
and I hung out there for the day. It did like, I had only heard horror stories about it, and it seemed like it was on the come up. I had a good time there.
It's awesome. Fascinating. I mean, dude, like less than 100 years ago, this is like one of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like,
it was also the richest city in the United States at one point.
right. So to see that entire arc where you can see it all still, it's just so unique.
Yeah.
Like some of the buildings downtown are fucking sick. And to see what they're doing with them now, there's like great cocktail bars downtown. Like the whole sort of legacy of the automobile industry is like fascinating. There's dudes who just live out there whose like grandfathers were literally like the most important guy on earth. And they're just like chilling in Michigan, like have so much money. And they're like, just kind of chill, dude. Like,
even I remember I grabbed an Uber there, and I was going to have the Uber driver drop me off and somewhere in downtown Detroit. And he was like, dude, I haven't been downtown in like
everybody says that.
6 years.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know, man. Are you sure you want to go here? And I'm like, yes. I was
good.
like, it kind of looks like a normal city right now.
They're acting like it's I Am Legend.
Yeah, no. And you know, there's a lot of those like big abandoned buildings and stuff, but it's pretty. I love it there. But not to get off topic here.
What was the food like?
In Comoros?
Yeah.
I think it was like pretty solid. Like most of the time when I haven't been anywhere in Africa personally where like the food was the highlight. Like a lot of the time it's like whatever the local food is, you're like, okay, like it's good. Like there's like cassava and stuff in Tanzania, like things that are unique. But a lot of the time it's just like other stuff. So like I don't recall eating anything that was like particularly unique.
No flying foxes or anything.
No flying foxes or anything. Like rice and beans, like type of stuff. I'm not like a super adventurous when it comes to like Donnie might be, where like eating. I don't like eat street food. Like I've gotten too much food poisoning.
Yeah,
I get really paranoid about it.
I'd be the same exact way.
So I'd say that like food was fine, solid, like good.
Seafood vibes a lot too.
Not really. And I have not really been super adventurous with eating fish in Africa yet. Yeah. So I typically just eat vegetarian on a trip like that, which sounds kind of boring, but
yeah.
No, I mean you don't want to risk that and be sick the whole time. Yeah.
But the hotel I stayed at was like nice enough, and the food was, they had like a buffet situation. Like you could get a pizza that was like probably the best thing on the menu, in my opinion.
Did they have fast food spots there? What about Nando's? I know that's popular in at least Southern Africa.
What is that? I don't know.
Nando's?
Yeah, I don't even know.
The cheeky Nando's?
Yeah,
it's
a chain.
Yeah, they got one in Chicago. You should have it for lunch. It's like peri-peri chicken, so it's kind of just grilled chicken that they put this peri-peri sauce on.
Peri Nando's, yeah.
Which is like
a
pepper sauce, I think created by the Portuguese when they were kind of colonizing parts of Africa and discovered the chili peppers there.
Oh, nice.
I think chili peppers come from Africa. Do they?
I don't know. I just remember like anytime we'd be at a place where like they were trying to really take care of us, which I obviously appreciated.
Yeah.
They would serve us so much food, but it was like the most random assortment of food. Like there would be like 2 different kinds of pasta, which were like, there was like one with tomato sauce, one just like pasta, and then like rice and beans and chicken and like just like all the food, but like it was just every kind of food. It was just random, like a lot of the time in Tanzania at least.
So chili peppers are native to the Americas, like Mexico, Bolivia, and Peru. So that means like before Christopher Columbus, then it's like in China and Thailand and like Europe, no one was really eating spicy food. And now when you think of Thai food and like Chinese food, Indian food, that's all you think about.
Right. I wonder how that all happened.
Spice. So they're just
fascinating.
Dude, that must blow your mind. You never had that, and then somebody's like, "Here's a jalapeno."
Oh my god! What the fuck is happening?
You'd be like, "Oh my god!"
Yes,
dude, totally.
I really would just want to do a podcast episode on like how the world changed, because like it's like when you think of Ireland, you think of potatoes. When you think of Italy, you think of tomato sauce, and potatoes and tomatoes are both from the New World too.
Right.
So it's
How
like
culinary stuff changes
Interesting.
everything, like tea, spices,
Totally.
like
Yeah.
peppers, like how much different foods will legitimately change the world.
yeah.
It's cool too. It's like it's a nice uniting thing where like people fucking love Thai food. They love like this or that, and like
Yeah.
we've all borrowed from each other.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing.
All right. Well, that was Rwanda, Tanzania, and Comoros with Giulio. And now we're going to transition into Gettin Cultured, where Giulio's going to teach us a little bit about North Korean culture.
Yes.
Today's episode of Drop a Pin is brought to you by our friends at Blue Chew. Guys, we enter the room dick first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. This ain't a supplement, it's an erection resurrection. Guys, this isn't just about performance. This is about legacy or third legacy. Give our group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code DROP at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Today's show is also brought to you by Tushy. Tushy is the everyday luxury bidet that instantly transforms your bathroom habits and bottom health for life. It's the perfect gift to indulge every personality on your list. Tushy Bidet is the daily techie luxury that's refreshingly practical and easy to use. 99% of people who wash with Tushy Wave feel cleaner and fresher after going to the bathroom. Tushy Wave instantly modernizes your daily routine and bathroom with super sleek seat plus 2 separate front and rear nozzles for the most complete clean. It also features a soft closed lid and seat that's slam-proof for a gentle, luxurious finish. Every Tushy bidet easily attaches to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing. For me, I've had diarrhea since Easter of 2007, and my life would be so much worse if I had to wipe over and over again. Shout out to Tushy Bidets. My butt is sparkling, my spokes are clean, and yours will be too. Remember, a hole is a naughty word if you wipe. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use PIN, P-I-N, at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with the promo code PIN. Today's show is also brought to you by Huel. Big news, Huel has launched into Target stores nationwide this month. They have launched their Black Edition ready-to-drink plus their Daily Greens ready-to-drink. Go to your local Target today. I am trying to lose a little bit more weight. I'm trying to get a little healthy, and Huel is helping me keep on track. Plus, if I'm going out with Sammy and we're doing these day tripping ideas, we need a little bit extra, and Huel gives that to us in spades. Their Black Edition is ready to drink, has 35 grams of protein and 27 additional vitamins and minerals. They also have no artificial sweeteners. They're gluten-free and ready to go for under $5 per meal. The Daily Greens is developed by registered nutritionists and dietitians and includes 42 vitamins, minerals, and superfoods. They only have 25 calories, 4 grams of fiber, and 1 gram of sugar. Huel makes healthy eating simple. They also just launched into Target stores nationwide. Try both products today with 15% off your purchase for new customers with our exclusive code WONTON at Huel.com/wonton. Use my code and fill out the post-checkout survey to help support this show. Let's hop back into it.
So there's this story that I think is super interesting about North Korea that I wanted to share with you guys since I see you've been doing this lately. So I want to start first with like a quick, just like how North Korea all started thing. Cause I don't hear about that often. You hear about like the wacky leadership and all the weird stuff over there, but you don't really, I recall not hearing much about like how it all started. So as like a quick refresher, like how familiar are you guys with this kind of shit?
So I do know it was kind of like,
because I don't want to be redundant,
that North Korea, like after World War II, whoever was kind of leading North Korea, he just kind of was more allied with the Soviets, kind of had more of a communist bent.
Yes.
And kind of just wanted the entire country to be communist, and America wasn't down with that.
Yes.
So they're like, no, we're going to support the South Korean government and, fight just to make that the entire country instead.
Cool. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So that's a great foundation. So like that's true. They kind of lazily drew 38th parallel. They're like, the Soviets will control the northern part. We control the south. The way they kind of did with the whole world to some degree.
Yeah, like the Eisenhower Doctrine.
Exactly. So this is in 1945. That's all happening. I think in 1950, Kim Il-sung, who is Kim Jong-un's grandfather, invaded South Korea. And then we were defending to like make sure that didn't happen. So what ends up happening is we then easily destroy the North Korean army and start to get a little greedy. So we're like moving north and north and north and north until we're at that river that kind of borders China. And Mao's like, all right, we don't need the fucking U.S. Army chilling across the river from us. Like that's an existential threat to us. Like People's Republic of China or whatever had been new at that point. So sends 100,000 person army to repel us back down effectively to the original border. They redrew this DMZ, which kind of oscillates between north and south of the original 38th parallel, which is still stands to this day. But they say that if MacArthur kind of didn't get greedy, we could have like the North Korean whatever forces government would have probably collapsed, and we wouldn't have this situation that we currently have today.
Yeah.
So at that point, that's 1953, I think, when they had the armistice, and from there. So the American troops kind of stay in the area for a while, and this is where this interesting thing happened. So the North Korean government was supported by the Soviets in China until Kim Il-sung was like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to be independent, sort of annexes it and crushed all the political opponents. And I was reading this today. I thought this was hilarious. After the war, he eliminated the opposition forever.
Yeah.
Which has remained true.
Yes.
During this time, the North Koreans are doing this propaganda campaign to try to make life in the North seem really
That
appealing.
doesn't seem like them.
They're like, it's great. It's great up here. You should come live. And they're saying they're trying to encourage people to defect.
Okay. Yeah.
So they successfully get some American soldiers to defect and become North Korean. White American soldiers. And there's a few of them that are like famously did it. These 4 guys, and most famously this guy, James Dresnok was his name. They defect and become North Korean. So all these promises that had initially been given to them, they realized very quickly, they're like, oh, everybody hates us. This sucks. Like we just have to live in solitude. We can't go back because we're traitors now. So now we just have to like live in private. Like this completely fucking blows.
Yeah.
At some point during that time, Kim Il-sung gives his son, Kim Jong-il, a task. He's like, because Kim Jong-il was this big filmmaker. He's like, make a 20-part series about the history of North Korea. And in order to make this movie, they needed people to play the American bastards.
Yeah.
So they cast these guys in the series, and the guys become celebrities in the country. Like these beloved celebrities who then move to Pyongyang. They live this like elevated life in Pyongyang at the top of the culture and like have kids and raise families in this culture. And this guy, James Dresnok, in this documentary that I watched, you see his sons learning English. And it's like you two who've never spoken English in your life and have Korean accents.
Wow.
Learning English. And hearing them talk in broken English is one of the craziest. It's like the lady who woke up with a Chinese accent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy.
And I assume that James Joseph Dresnok, so that's his son? Like the one who had to learn English?
It looks like, I think so. I think those are the two sons.
Oh, damn. He saw Paul Wall before he died.
Yeah, he's got a nice little grill.
He's got the grill too, right?
Yeah.
Because he looks maybe like half Korean in that. Because I assume
does, yeah.
I assume his dad found a North Korean wife and then
Yes.
had a kid and like.
So, but these sons are white. These sons are like white. So I don't fully remember.
I mean, that guy looks pretty damn white.
Yeah.
That guy
He
is
might
as
not even
white
be
as-
half Korean. I
That
don't
guy's
know.
absolutely from Wisconsin. And loves
Yeah.
Dude, he's like, I love it here. He's like the great leader. It's crazy. And his sons, like the English you're learning, it's like they're like talking in military speech. So they're like talking military strategy in broken English. And it's one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen. This whole documentary is actually on YouTube. It's called Crossing the Line. There's a ton of great North Korea docs, but this is probably the best one in my opinion, as far as the story.
And so still to this day, the descendants of those military guys who crossed the line, like they're probably some of the only white people living in North Korea?
I think so. I think that they're like in the military and are like generals or something, potentially. And it's a story you don't hear about that often, maybe for a reason, maybe because it just kind of looks bad for us or something.
Yeah, I knew that North Korea would kidnap a lot of Japanese, and they also kidnapped a South Korean movie star at one point and made her appear in a lot of movies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But no, and then I vaguely had heard about some Americans defecting to North Korea, but like
There's
I
books
didn't
about
know
that
all
too.
this.
There's one called The Orphan Master's Son that I read last year, and it's all about essentially how North Korea would come to South Korea and kidnap people off the beach.
Crazy.
And then take them in, and they would either make them subservient, or like if they found a beautiful woman, people would go, like they would make her be the actor there, and she was elevated to like superstar status because Kim Jong-il was such a movie guy.
Crazy. Crazy. That's so nuts. So yeah, it's also interesting that there's only been 3 leaders of North Korea, and they're, it's a lineage. Grandfather.
Yeah, the 3 leaders. And the first
son.
leader, I think, was seen as like a pretty competent guy. He just kind of didn't want to be controlled by a foreign power. So it was like, he was like, why, like, are we just letting USA come in and like tell us what we're going to do? It's like, you can kind of see where he was coming from, but then it's like his kid and his grandson were the ones that started to go batshit crazy.
Well, and also it's like the classic communist arc. Like it starts strong and then slowly just kind of like erodes from within. But like the last thing they let go of is like the strong exterior. But everybody knows, like, dude, we're like, you guys aren't doing anything that impressive over there. And I think there was like that famous famine, but I'm not sure that, I think that might have been just like something that whoever was in power would have had to deal with. I'm not sure it was like specifically Kim Jong-il's fault, but like they didn't have the ability to deal with it properly.
Yeah.
And they're great at shifting blame too.
Of course.
Like it's never their fault. I wonder when the deity started.
Oh, the Juche thing?
Yeah.
So that is a thing that Kim Il-sung created, and then you had to teach it in school, and they still teach it, supposedly, to this day.
Okay.
Where it's like, which is another communism thing where there's like, you can't have religion. It's like, the religion is the state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that is definitely a thing there, which is fascinating. I'm curious to know what life is like there now. I know it's been harder for people to go.
Yeah. It is when like China sent just waves, like how many troops did they send over? And that's kind of what
100,000.
was able to push back the Americans. I mean, that's probably the only time, except for maybe in the Opium Wars, that American troops have been fighting Chinese troops.
Interesting.
And I think MacArthur at one point, when China sent over 100,000 troops, I think he was like, why don't we just nuke China? And like
everyone's like, whoa,
he had to be talked down.
I got addicted to it.
He was like, dude, he was like, we could easily just nuke
guys.
China and end this whole thing right now. They're like, no.
No.
I don't think that's the way to go.
Can't become too reliant on them bad boys.
Yes. Those bad boys are some bad boys.
It's not like a fix-all.
I went to one of the Manhattan Project sites not long ago in Tennessee, which still has like all of the plutonium, because I guess now that we're in that treaty, like we can't make more of it. So it's like all there. And they do tours of it. You have to like sign up, and the American Energy Association hosts these tours. And dude, some of these, at one point, the biggest building on Earth was there. And you see where it was, and it's just crazy. They're like, yep, we have it all here. And you're like, oh, crazy. Jeez. So it's just right over there? They're like, yep.
Yeah,
right over there.
Enormous.
I think like now when we think of North and South Korea, they're like complete, like they couldn't be more polar opposites.
Totally.
I think even to the point where South Koreans are like on average 5 inches taller than North Koreans just because of their diet and stuff.
Tying it back to the astronauts.
Yeah.
Same people.
Yes.
They're the same people.
North Korea loves space exploration.
But no, it's true. Like the nutrition difference, like, they're like much taller.
But I don't think it was always like that. I think probably the first 5 years after the Korean War, South Korea and North Korea were a lot more similar.
Totally.
And then it was kind of when like North Korea started going really crazy that they had all these sanctions against it, and that's when they were dealing with famine and everything like that. And like,
totally.
Now it's like if they wanted to unify, it would take a while for those two groups of people to kind of blend together.
Oh
again.
Yeah. And with that many, like much of a difference, do you think that they are inherently taller now? Like where that gene is passed on? Because if so, that's probably an example of nutrition induced microevolution.
I think so, dude.
But I think if we started
so.
to feed the North Koreans again, they would start to sprout up.
Sure. I mean, if we cut down all the trees and replace them with birch trees, the gray moth would no longer be the gray moth either.
And now it's starting to get. Are you guys sure you're not high? Are you sure you didn't take an edible, chaps?
Yeah.
I only use that example because that's a pretty prominent microevolution.
Right, right. No, but it's true. Yeah, it's like it's a pretty fascinating thing. Another great North Korea documentary. It's the most recent one I've seen. It's called Beyond Utopia, and basically it shows this guy who like smuggles people out of North Korea. Basically, like he was like this pastor or whatever. And it's funny. He met his wife when he was helping her get out of North Korea, and she remembers seeing him and thinking he was hot because he was fat, because the only fat people were like the big political people. And she's like, this guy, only the great leader looks like this. Oh my God, this guy's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I used to run in evangelical circles. Nice. And so like, I remember whenever you were going to go be a missionary, North Korea was like the pinnacle of missionary culture. Like if you got in to be a missionary in North Korea, you were basically getting any Christian puss you wanted.
But they throw missionaries in North Korea like in jail. Like if you're caught with a Bible in North Korea, you can be locked up for like 20 years.
Those were the places that they wanted. Like even at the time, I don't know how true this, but China was talked about a lot because they cut off religion.
Yeah.
Russia cutting off religion. North Korea cutting off, and then Saudi Arabia. Like if you could get into any of those countries, it was like the pinnacle of missionary culture.
And get a couple conversions on your belt.
You get a
get
conversion
laid by any evangelical on the planet.
Yeah, you're getting handies, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like because North Korea went so against religion that like South Korea kind of went very Christian. I think there's a huge Christian population in South Korea, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And they'll be like very religious.
And some of the like here, like the South Koreans have a ton of churches here, like where you see it on like a Baptist church bus that has the Korean language on the side.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Fascinating, dude. Mm-hmm. But anyway, there's one part in this documentary that was like, so this family, they take them out and they bring them to like Laos or something, or before they eventually get them to Thailand where they're going to be safe because then they can go to South Korea. And watching them like learn about how different stuff is in other places and like realize sort of the other side of everything they know. And it's interesting. The grandmother's like the last one who like lets go of it, which like makes sense. Like she'll live longest, whatever. It's like pretty powerful. Like I remember watching him, like getting the chills. I'm like getting the chills thinking about it.
Yeah. Because if you've been taught one thing your entire life, you're not just going to unlearn all that overnight.
Totally. And we all have that kind of bias based on where we are. You know what I mean? To some degree. I would say it's fair to argue that it's more extreme for them, obviously. But we have shit like that too, where we think stuff and you get another perspective. You're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, like when we had Charles Raoul, who escaped North Korea twice. It was on one of our first episodes. Like him talking about going into China, finally escaping, and then getting a banana. And it was like mind-blowing for him to have a banana because they had only seen it on TV and he wasn't even sure if it was real.
Crazy.
Like, and he had one and he was like, this is unbelievable. And then he got sent back to North Korea and all of those, like, quote, delicacies that he was used to, he no longer had.
Brutal, dude.
That was a fascinating talk with him, too.
Yeah. Probably one of our, like, darkest conversations too, but
I'm sure.
Eating his own shit, corn out of his own shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, wild.
That is wild. Yeah, sometimes I think about that, and this is like not a good way to think about it probably, just like poo-pooing the whole situation, but like when I'm looking at candy and I'm like, why do I want Sour Patch Kids more than this like naturally occurring delicious fruit? I'm like, I need to reset my
sugar is just very addictive.
So addictive. I'm like, I wish that I was dreaming of oranges.
Yeah. Or tangerine.
Hey, any of them, dude. Yeah. It's incredible that fruit just grows. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have Nerds Rope instead.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
This year was the first year I've done any type of gardening at all.
Nice.
And like going outside and cutting lettuce stalks from like the romaine that I've grown is so rewarding.
I can't even imagine. I need to get there.
And I got a blueberry bush going for next year.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's going to be awesome.
Fuck yeah.
But it is cool. Like there was a house, we're kind of looking at property in Costa Rica.
Sick.
And one of the houses has 2 or 3 huge mango trees.
So sick.
And I don't even like mango that much.
Oh, come on. Mango is an elite fruit.
I know it is.
It's got to be the best fruit.
I shouldn't say I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it every time I have it, especially with like tahini or something like that on top of it. But it's not something that I constantly seek out. So, but looking out your back window and seeing a tree loaded down with mangoes has to be awesome.
Have you ever had a mangosteen?
What's that?
It's just a small mango. It's just a Jewish mango.
Just a North Korean mango.
Just a short Jewish mango.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, never had it.
They're great.
Have you ever seen any of those? There's like an Instagram guy who like eats random fruit, and he's kind of annoying, but the fruit that he eats, it's like fruit after fruit after fruit that I've never heard of or seen.
Isn't he in Hawaii or something like that? And it's all like it's that big spiky one that smells bad.
He's always like, "Oh, this one,
durian.
Yeah, it tastes like yogurt."
Yeah.
Sam brought up a photo of a mangosteen. That's not what I was eating.
Oh,
what the fuck is that?
Maybe the mangosteens I was eating just looked like a small mango. That's a completely different fruit.
What is that name of the it starts with a J, doesn't it? Yoro fruit, something.
I
Wait,
gotta step
what
up my
fruit? So
The big fat one that kind of looks like that, but much bigger and it's smelly.
That's a durian.
Durian.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes. I've never had one of those. Are they good?
So they do smell really bad. They don't taste quite as bad as they smell, but it's not a flavor I would seek out. But in China, they would have like a durian quesadilla at Taco Bell. They've got like durian ice cream, durian candy. Not a huge fan.
Interesting.
You can buy them in Chinatown here, so
Sick.
you should try some. They're also lethal. Like I feel like I could murder someone with a durian.
The giant, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really sharp spikes on it.
Jesus.
One last crazy North Korean thing, but I'm going to butcher this story because I haven't researched it in a while. But they were training some like elite South Korean group, and they were going to be like trained to go into North Korea and assassinate Kim Jong-il. But they like trained these guys too hard. They kind of like pushed them to their limit, and they eventually like went insane. They were being trained on an island off of South Korea, and they eventually like snapped and then revolted and like escaped from their training camp and like went to South Korea and started just blowing shit up. Like,
Jesus.
It's kind of like a real life Suicide Squad type story.
I'm pretty sure you're just describing Jason Bourne.
Yeah, dude,
Squid Game season 4, dude.
the real life Suicide Squad.
That's crazy. And they all just mutinied against South Korea in the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens if you
backfired.
push someone too far. It was called Unit 684, the South Korean Suicide Squad with the tragic history.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
You hate to see
everybody has a breaking point.
I guess so. I think mine would be pretty quick, too.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle much torture, dude.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to that, I would immediately
falsely confess. Yeah, it was me.
I think I would too. Like I've interviewed different people who are prisoners of war from like Vietnam. There's a dude named Charlie Plum who was in like the next cell over from John McCain for 6.5 years.
Jesus.
He was in the Hanoi Hilton.
And did he explain like what types of torture methods they used?
Yeah. So like he described one time they would put hooks through the skin by his shoulder blades.
Oh my God.
And they would like pull him up on a pulley and he would stay there. He said sometimes he would stay there for 2 or 3 days, that they're hanging there. The torture that he described, unimaginable what they went through, and like developing the way to talk to each other through taps. And
Jesus, dude.
I mean, he said that it was just, I mean, obviously it's horrific. 6.5 years, man. Like, I don't know how you do that. And that's why when people are like, oh, Songbird McCain, I'm like, dude, you throw me into a fucking Vietnam, the Hanoi Hilton, I'll say whatever you want.
100%, dude.
I'd be like, I hate my mom. Like, whatever you need me to say, yeah, I'll say it. Put me on TV, fine.
Totally.
And to have the wherewithal some of those guys did to like blink the Morse code while they were making those videos is
absolutely
wild.
nuts.
And that people picked it up too, like the blinking cadence that they were doing.
Yeah.
To speak while you're doing that.
Wild, bro.
especially like when it comes to religious persecution. Back in the day, used to be like, hey, you need to convert to my religion or we're going to torture you and murder you, burn you alive. I would convert so fast.
So fast.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, because I don't know, I'm not like super religious, but I also think all religions are kind of saying the same thing. So it's like, hey, if you need me to convert to this religion, like I'll do it right now, no problem.
That's why they
Just
say them
don't-
witch trials were so brutal, because you couldn't admit to anything and they didn't believe you.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, what's
There
the
was
point
no
of this?
way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a witch? Cool. Now you're getting burned in the stake.
No, they-
You're not one. You're a liar and a witch. Now you're
Right,
getting burned in
right.
the stake.
They were like, we're going to tie a rock to your foot. If you drown, it proves you weren't a witch.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
float, you're a witch.
You're
Because
like,
you're made of wood.
fuck.
Yeah.
So you're fucked
Jesus.
both ways. Well, Giulio, thanks so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure, guys. Yeah, those Africa videos, I'm about to start really working on the Tanzania one, which will be my next one. And check out the Bhutan video. It's pretty sweet. I'm psyched about it.
Yes,
so.
it's out now, and your YouTube page is just called.
Not Julio is the channel.
All right. Not Julio. I think I've been mispronouncing your name a few times. I like dropping a hard G sometimes.
But it's pronounced, it's Julio.
Okay, it always is a
My
hard
name
G.
is Giulio with a G, but
Yeah.
not Julio is supposed to be like directions, but it just makes it more confusing, I've realized. But that's still my
I
channel.
like that joke that you do on stage.
Yeah, thank
too.
you, thank you.
That's a
It's
good one.
easier to spell Julio, so not Julio. My name is not Julio, but yeah, not Julio is the channel.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, Giulio.
Cheers.